I've got an old Homelite C-9, model C-9. It's a vintage chainsaw from the 60s. There's the plate there. Anyways, it's got a broken pull cord, and I'm going to show you how to repair that. First, you want to start by removing these 3 screws here. It's either a 5/16 head or flat screwdriver. Now I've got the recoil in my hands here. Next step is going to be to take this off and replace the rope that's inside. So with the small flat screwdriver, you want to get that C-clip out gently. Just gotta watch when nothing flies away. There's a spring in there. So what you can do is take out the parts and keep them in the same order down on your bench as what they went. You want to remember this little piece of plastic that goes in there. So I'm just going to take it off like this and put it down with it on top. So I'm just going to keep all the stuff in the order that it came out down there. So now I'm just going to pull on this gently. You don't want this spring here to come undone, because if it does, you got to put it all back together. It's a real pain. So this piece fell out. Actually, this little piece here that came out goes on top here after this goes in there. So I'm just going to put it down here in the same order. Now you can see the rope here where it broke off, and it's knotted inside there. So with a pair of needle nose, I'm just going to pull that out. So there we go. Now I've got it. Now I've got the original Homelite handle. I'm going to remove the rope from it. And here's where it's knotted on this piece of metal here. You just gently pull up. There we go. I'm going to take that out and just pull that from inside. And I'm going to use the old rope to measure out a piece for the new rope, so I have the same length. So to put the rope back in, you've got your piece. This is the upside. You want to insert the rope in the center here, just like that. Then pull up. If you can't reach it like that, just use a pair of needle nose pliers to pull it up, and then insert it into the hole. And then when you turn it over, that's where the knot was before. So I'm going to make a knot and reinsert it into this hole. So I've got the knot made. I'm just going to pull like that. Now you might have to push the knot in, either with a screwdriver or some kind of pin. Screwdriver's good. Just put the knot tight in there. I'm going to reassemble it. I'm going to put a bit of grease in here before I do that, just so that it's lubricated. Just prevents a lot of wear and tear. Okay. I'm going to spray a bit of penetrating oil on the spring, just so that it works better. Now when you put this back in, this side down toward the recoil, the goal here is to get this spring here, this little clip, into this groove here. So I'm just going to take a good guess there, and once I got it down, you turn it, and when you turn it clockwise, if it comes back, that means you've got it in right. So you can see it wants to come back. So now I'm going to put the plastic clip that went there. There's one clip. Then the dogs are going to go there. Then it's your second plastic clip, which you can put right there. I'm going to lubricate this with actually a bit of oil from my oil can. then it's going to soak down in there. So once you've got the plastic piece in, you want to put the spring in, and then the big washer, and then after that your little C-clip. Now this gets a bit tricky because you got to kind of hold everything at once to get the C-clip. So I'm pushing down on the washer and I pushed in the clip, and there it's in. And then you want to take the end of your rope and run it through the hole right here. Just going to do that like that. Now once you've got your rope in like that, you turn this thing over, and there's going to be resistance from the spring there, but that's what you want. Then with the needle nose, grab your rope, pull it out like this, and then go around a couple times clockwise. And what this does is it tightens up the spring to rewind the rope. When you think it's tight enough, pull on the rope and let it gently go back in. So I think I need the spring to be tighter, so I'm just going to repeat the process. But before I do that, I'm going to tie the handle to the rope. So I'm just going to insert it in here. The rope's a bit longer, so I'm not going to keep the whole length of the rope. And then insert it into the mechanism here. Then put it back into the mechanism, and then put it back in the handle. So you can see that it's a bit loose. So to get back this slack, I'm going to repeat the process here. What you want to do is you want to get the rope in this groove so that it doesn't catch on the outside of the pulley. I'm going to spin it 3 times. Now I can feel it's getting tight. You don't want to go too tight because it could bust the spring. And then I'll let it go. So there we go. Now you can see that it's clear from the housing, which is what you want, and it's working great. So I'm just going to reassemble it now. So here we go. So there we go. So the next part's going to see if this thing's going